Imagine a company so powerful, it could challenge entire nations. A corporation that didn't just control trade. It controlled land, resources, armies, and even the fate of millions of people. This wasn't just any business. This was the East India Company, the world's first corporate superpower. How did it rise to dominate the globe? And how did it shape the world we know today? Stay tuned, because this story isn't just about business. It's about empire, warfare, and the price of power. In the early 1600s, European powers were desperate to tap into the wealth of Asia. But there was a problem. The sea routes to the east were fraught with danger. That is, until a group of ambitious English merchants founded a company that would change history. The East India Company, established in 1600 by Queen Elizabeth I. This company was given the exclusive right to trade with the East, essentially creating its own monopoly. And it wasn't just a trading venture. It was the first of its kind, a joint stock company, where investors would fund these perilous voyages in exchange for a share of the immense profits. At first, the company's mission was simple: bring back goods like spices, silk, and tea from the Far East. But soon, it would find itself making a different kind of fortune, one that would come at a much higher price. As the company's wealth grew, so did its ambition. By the mid-1600s, the East India Company wasn't just trading goods. It was establishing control over entire regions, particularly in India. The company's monopoly didn't just mean controlling trade. It meant controlling the land itself. By the early 1700s, they had their own armies, private forces stronger than most nations' armies. In 1757, the company would solidify its dominance with the Battle of Plassey, a bloody conflict that would not only ensure British control over Bengal, but also set the stage for British rule over India for centuries. By now, the East India Company was more than just a business. It was an empire in its own right. But here's the thing. This company had something that no government had. It had unparalleled access to wealth. But with power like this came corruption. And what followed was an unprecedented extraction of wealth. But before we dive into how the company's greed led to its downfall, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Could a company like this rise again today? Leave your thoughts below and let's continue. As the East India Company grew stronger, so did its ability to extract wealth. From crushing the economy of India to imposing heavy taxes on its population, the company's methods were ruthless. The wealth of millions was funneled back into Britain, funding palaces, armies, and imperial expansion. But it wasn't just about collecting taxes or controlling trade routes. The company waged wars, and they were no ordinary battles. The company's armies clashed with local rulers, fought off rebellions, and expanded Britain's empire across Asia. But the price of this expansion was staggering. Lives were lost, economies shattered, and entire cultures were left in ruins. The company's insatiable thirst for profit knew no boundaries. By the early 1800s, things began to unravel. The company's actions, its wars, its abuse of power, and its near-total control of India caused massive unrest. By 1857, the First War of Indian Independence, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny, marked the beginning of the end. The British government, tired of the company's unchecked power, took direct control of India, ending the company's rule and bringing it to its knees. But even in its downfall, the East India Company left an indelible mark on history. Its legacy can still be seen in the global trading systems that dominate today. Its rise to power showed the true potential and the dangers of corporate influence. The company wasn't just about wealth. It was about shaping the course of nations. Now, think about this. With the corporate giants of today, Amazon, Google, and Apple, all growing in power, we have to ask ourselves, can history repeat itself? How will these companies influence our future? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss. If you enjoyed this story of the East India Company, make sure to subscribe to GoldMind AI and hit the bell icon so you never miss a tale that uncovers how wealth, power, and empire building shaped our world. You won't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next chapter of history.